Warsaw, and you
Yes.
loved Warsaw.
Warsaw was very nice.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if I'm live and you're listening to Vacation Conversations, but hello. Good evening, everybody from Jerusalem, where we have so much news. We have more news than we have time. So I am going to get right to it. Welcome. If you are joining for the first time, my name is Nicole Jantzzian. I'm a reporter based in Jerusalem, and I'm bringing you the news from the Middle East. A lot of stuff you may not have heard if you are in the West. We are going to cover what is happening in Iran and between Iran and the US with this MOU that is being negotiated. We're going to talk about Lebanon because a big piece of the puzzle of the MOU has to do with Israel versus Hezbollah in Lebanon. And so and that's still going on, and it's a huge sticking point. I'm going to touch a little bit on Syria and a little bit on the famous last words. Do you guys remember? Help is on the way. You remember help is on the way? Because I hear those words again. And this was the famous statement by President Trump back in January when the Iranian people were protesting. And he said, keep going. We're going to help you save your country. Help is on the way. And then what happened? It took months. It was February 28th until it started. So that was January. So it was like another 6 weeks till there was any war. And then after 40 days of war, the Iranian people are in possibly a worse situation. So also must note, and there's not much to talk about yet about this, so I'll just say it now, that there are supposedly some large anti-Hamas protests scheduled in Gaza for this Friday, June 26th. So there's a lot going back and forth right now in the Arab media about that. And of course, Hamas is threatening that if there are any protesters, that they will kill them, or they'll, they didn't say kill them, sorry, ban the protests, whatever. Like there's threats, like do not assemble. But anyway, they're promising June 26th that it could be big. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But anyway, welcome, and let's get started because there's a lot. And we're going to go through a lot of videos that I've collected. But let's start with Iran. And by the way, if you're watching, you can drop your name in the chat, say hi, ask questions, air your opinion, whatever you want, go for it. Okay, so first of all, the MOU is unfolding as we speak. The Memorandum of Understanding, they've got 60 days. Now the clock is ticking on the 60 days of negotiation. And within the negotiation, there's all sorts of sticking points. Like, for instance, will there be tolls on the Strait of Hormuz? What has the U.S. promised to Iran? What is Iran expected to do? One of the things is that the U.S. is releasing the frozen funds that they have. That the U.S. has frozen some funds of Iran's, and they said, "Well, we'll release that to you." So that would be, I mean, it's a good sum of money. I don't know the actual amount, but there's a little bit of a dispute as to what they are supposed to do with it. So as I go through, bear with me, the 100 tabs that I have open, let me find the one where it talks about the frozen funds, because there is a video of President Trump saying, this is what you're going to do with this. I got to find it. Syrian president. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is about the tolls, but I can't find it. Oh my gosh, you can't tell me I don't have it. Oh, could you answer this? This is Baladi. They might be at the wrong address. We finally have a grocery. What do you call it? Coming in, grocery delivery. So, all right. We'll go to something else in the meantime because I cannot find it. I can't believe it. I have all of these tabs and not one. Let's go about. We'll go to the Strait of Hormuz. What's happening there? But the Strait of Hormuz was open and running before the war. Now it has been closed. It was blockaded by Iran, and then it was naval blockaded by the U.S. And Iran says we're gonna start charging tolls. Now, it is actually stipulated in the MOU that they cannot charge tolls during this time. And so they're saying, okay, but after the 60 days, we're going to. And they're actually talking to Oman about this. And there are reports that Iran and Oman plan to, because it's their territorial waters, charge tolls after the 60 days is up. Now, Trump has said that, and this is a quote that he put out today on social media, Iran has informed the U.S. that there are no tolls, no insurance costs, and no other charges of any kind being sought or received by Iran on ships traveling the Strait of Hormuz. He posted this on his Truth Social account. He said, if this is false information, negotiations would end immediately. Here, I'm going to see if I can put this in the chat and put it on the screen so you can read it. And actually, it would have to be, I think you may not see it on Facebook, but if you're watching on YouTube, you will see it. So there is his quote right there. Iran has informed the U.S. that there are no tolls, no insurance costs. And anyway, that's what he says. But Iran and Oman are talking about tolls anyway. So that is one of the main sticking points right now of this, of the MU is this going to happen, not happen? With the tolls, and it looks like they will hold off for the 60 days, and then after that they feel like they are going to be able to do whatever they want. So okay, I'm just checking out if I can see where I have got, there it is. Oh yeah, okay, so it was just under a different name. I'm going to show you the video now of the frozen funds. So the frozen funds are going to be released. And here is what Trump said about that.
Also, and it came up last night, is money that's being unfrozen is going to be used to buy food, and the food's going to be bought exclusively through the United States from our farmers.
All right. You guys heard that? Let's do it again. Let me do that again.
Also, and it came up last night, is money that's being unfrozen is going to be used to buy food, and the food's going to be bought exclusively through the United States from our farmers.
All right. So you guys heard that. So they're going to give you them the money to buy the food from them exclusively. So that's the Trump plan right there, is to charge them for it. So anyway, that's of course Iran says their response to that was there was no such agreement. Iran will decide on its own how to use the unfrozen funds without any restrictions or conditions regarding this matter. The nature of the commitment to the current ceasefire in Lebanon is the result of our understandings with the Americans. So they are saying it's all he said. He said. Trump is saying one thing, Iran is saying another thing. Also, another issue is whether or not Iran will allow the International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors to visit their civilian nuclear facilities that were damaged in Iran. And U.S. Vice President JD Vance says Iran has agreed to allow the inspectors into its territory. This is a significant milestone on the way to denuclearizing Iran. What does Iran say? Iran Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Baghai says, "We have not spoken with the agency and there is no intention to let them in." Okay, so that is a little bit about what is going on in Iran and the different narratives you are getting from the different sides, having to do with the unfrozen funds, and whether or not how they're going to be used, and whether it's going to be to buy U.S. products, which is what Trump says, and Iran says no way. Will there be nuclear inspections? JD Vance says yes, they've agreed, and Iran's like, nothing of the sort have we agreed to in this case. And the Strait of Hormuz. There are still talks in Iran and now with Oman that they will charge tolls. And Trump insists there is no way that that is going to happen. So we're getting different sides of the story. Now, in the last live that I did, I talked about the opposition, that Israel is unequivocally opposed to this deal. They think it's not good for them. Now, I want to show you some American reactions, specifically Republican leaders. Let me find some of, okay, Republican senators, Republican and Democrat senators. In this video, I am going to show you some of their reactions. Let's watch this.
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is not a good idea. I think the president, unfortunately, is receiving bad advice on this deal.
I was just going to ask you about the Iran deal, what you think about it.
With this whole nuclear deal now, no better than what we had back in 2015, back when Barack Obama cut the deal. And that's where Donald Trump winds us up after all of this. What an embarrassment.
We went to war for what? The idea of doing something in the Straits of Hormuz. The Straits were being used peacefully before our invasion, and now we have to negotiate they'll be used peacefully in the future.
It's going to get access to its frozen assets, and what is Iran giving up for this? Nothing. Nothing. They're merely reaffirming what they've said before about nuclear weapons.
Well, all I've seen is public reporting about it, but the public reporting to me suggests we're giving up an awful lot more to get a lot less than the JCPOA.
Donald Trump couldn't explain why he got into this war. Remember, it was going to be about regime change. And now he can't explain how to get out of it.
All right. Now, a lot of people say, no, it wasn't about regime change, but I'm going to show you another video before we get to a more in-depth answer from Senator Cruz. I'm going to show you another video of closer to the time of the like what I was telling you about the protests. What did Trump actually say? And let's see, what did the Trump administration actually?
One is a cessation of their nuclear.
You know, shit is really bad when the vice president has to go on American TV and lie to the public. Look at JD.
I want to tell you first who this woman is. This is Ghazel Shamhad. She is an Iranian expat living in the U.S. now. Her father, Jamshid Shamhad, was kidnapped by the IRGC while he was flying through the UAE. And he was kidnapped, taken to Iran, put in prison, basically very little contact with his family, and sham trial, and then sentenced to death. And only recently he was killed. He was executed. It took a while for them to release the body. They did, and the family has gotten him back, but they advocated, tried to. I was one of, I interviewed her several years ago. He was in jail, I think 4 or 5 years or something, but I interviewed her anyway. She is very active now, speaking out in general about the regime, and now she's you can follow her. You should follow her either on she's big on X and on Instagram. But here, let's rewind this. It said, what did Trump actually say to Iran?
You know, shit is really bad when the vice president has to go on American TV and lie to the public. Look at JD Vance.
President of the United States never said that his goal was to install Reza Pahlavi to become the new leader of Iran. What he said is, if the Iranian people want to rise up, great. That's their business. That's between them and their government. What we want is a cessation of their nuclear program.
That's not what Trump said. This is what he said.
To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms, or you will face certain death.
Didn't sound like a side note, did it? It sounds like liberation. He said to the great proud people of Iran,
the hour of your
freedom
is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere.
He didn't say, if they want to liberate themselves, that's their deal. Nothing to do with us. He said, when
we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
He didn't say, we will install you killers again as the next Ayatollah regime and call it regime change. He said, for
many years you have asked for America's help, but you never got it.
Now
you have a president who is giving you what you want. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force.
These are not my words. These are the words of the President of the United States. No amount of gaslighting is going to turn this absolute surrender and capitulation into a victory. The American public is not stupid. We don't have amnesia. The internet doesn't forget what Trump said in 2015 about a deal and $1 billion going to the Ayatollahs. And it doesn't forget what he said a few months ago when we started Epic Fury with exactly these goals. JD Vance, if you want to continue your disinformation campaign and lie to the American public, humiliate yourself on Trump-hater platforms like Megyn Kelly's, be my guest. That's between you, your conscience, and God. But if you think as a Christian your lies and your betrayal don't cost you, bro, you won't be able to buy yourself out of hell to a deal with the demons. And in the meantime, the American public is not going to forget who tried to sell them a catastrophic capitulation, an Obama deal times 10, and called it victory. And by the way, it's not Reza Pahlavi, some guy who's going to be installed there. It's the transitional leadership of a sovereign Iran under the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, who formed the biggest coalition of opposition forces that in coordination with a revolutionary, the brave people of Iran, as President Trump said, will reclaim their country, will reclaim their government, and bring this Ayatollah regime down, no matter what you're trying to do. And when we're done, no deal for you.
All right, I just want you guys to see her name so you can follow her. I'm going to put her handle in.
You know, shit is really bad when the vice president has to go on American TV
and so you guys can follow her. I highly recommend, because you can. She's on. You know, she's really strong about her country and what she believes. And she's not alone. She's not the only expat Iranian voice to have these opinions about the regime and about what should be done. So I would say she pretty much does represent a lot of Iranians in the diaspora, if not also Iranians in Iran. So here I'm going to put this. It does not go to Facebook for some reason, but it's at Gazelle Sharmad, which is GazellesharMahd. Okay, so anyway, look her up and enjoy. Okay, so, and by the way, I want to pause while I'm transitioning between this and that to say hello to Janice. Thank you for joining in. I'm on another screen, so I haven't really seen many chats come through. I'm like trying to get through this information. All right, so now I'm going to play for you Senator Cruz, because he also had very strong opinions about this and about the deal. And so let's see what he has to say. Wait, I'm gonna take this back to the beginning. I'm not sure why it started in the middle. Well, let's see.
Twice hired hitmen to try to murder the president.
Nope, I'm going back to the beginning. I don't know why it always starts at a point you think it's done on purpose. Anyway, let's start with Ted Cruz.
This agreement contemplates billions of dollars flowing into the IRGC's coffers, and I'll say something else also.
Can we also just say this too, that people understand IRGC, they're basically running the country right now.
If the Islamic regime remains in power, that regime, I believe, will continue to threaten President Trump and his family forever.
Yeah.
That is, that they've twice hired hitmen to try to murder the president. I believe the Ayatollah with $300 billion, I think the result of that would be more Americans killed in terrorism. And I also, this regime, they lie. So, yes, they've promised not to develop nuclear weapons. If they get $300 billion, they will use that money to develop nuclear weapons. And
all right. Like to know what you guys think about that. He insists they lie. I can tell you that the entire Israeli establishment is saying they don't believe Iran and they lie. And there are many other nations out there who, and a lot of analysts who are saying the same thing. They have zero trust that any of the sticking points are going to be brought to fruition, like, for instance, a nuclear weapon or not charging tolls and things like that. So this is the general opinion out there. But very interestingly, the other thing you can say about Iran is that they have made Lebanon an issue in this MOU. Like, it's actually, somebody put it this way, that they have decided that they will commit suicide over the Lebanon issue. So they have put Lebanon front and center. Now, why Lebanon? Lebanon is host, willing or not, to the largest Iranian proxy out there, which is Hezbollah. Hezbollah, before the war at least, had over 100,000 fighters. They had something like 150 to 200,000 weapons like drones, missiles, rockets, the unbelievable arsenal that they've amassed. And they are entrenched in southern Lebanon. They have members of parliament, and they're well in. But the Lebanese lately have kind of said, okay, we've had enough with Hezbollah. And so they are now following a different path. And by the way, I'm just going to do this because it's like, hi to Carol, hi to Cheryl. And here's also Janice. Thank you guys so much for joining. All right, so the Lebanese are following a different path right now, and we're going to take a look at what's happening. There are a lot of politicians, a lot of voices from the country that are speaking out without fear. Now, I would say there has probably always been opposition to Hezbollah's presence, but there has been fear of speaking out because this militia is actually stronger than the Lebanese army. They're actually also better paid. Also reminds me of something else. Iran is actually advertising in Lebanon. Iran is actually advertising in Iran that Hezbollah for Hezbollah volunteers, for fighters, or not volunteers, paid fighters. Let me find that. Yes. Okay, hold on a second. A video allegedly from Iran showing an advertisement by the IRGC looking for recruits to join Hezbollah. The job offers a salary and a potential promotion. Now we know where Iran is going to spend some of its $300 billion reconstruction and development. I cannot read Persian. I can't read Farsi. But that in yellow with the green thing that there in the middle, that is the Hezbollah logo. So this is what people are saying, is that they're advertising for new fighters to go and join them in Lebanon. another level over there. So that's what we've got from. Oh, whoa! What am I doing? What did I just do? Oh my gosh, guys! I almost like stopped the whole thing. Okay, all right. So that's what is going on. That they have said that all of the agreements are hinging on Israel getting out of Lebanon and leaving the military is well up into Lebanon, like into southern Lebanon, and they said they must get out. If they don't get out, then this can break the MOU. Like that'll be the collapse of the MOU if Israel doesn't get out. Now, let's see what Israel is saying about that. First of all, hold on. Okay. Defense Minister Israel Katz said Wednesday, even if there is an American request, we will not withdraw from southern Lebanon. He added that 200,000 residents will not be allowed to return to their southern border areas. According to the minister, the decision is based on Israel's past experience. In the past, security zones that included civilian populations became sites of bombings and attacks against our soldiers. We will not allow that to happen again. Israel is also, by the way, demolishing villages in southern Lebanon. And regarding that, Katz said, the infrastructure has been destroyed. The houses are damaged and unsafe, and we are not withdrawing. So that is Israel's response, and so it is probably going to create some kind of showdown between the U.S. and Israel about whether or not they are going to withdraw. So Katz says no. Netanyahu has said no. And okay, so now I am going to go to, now all of this is going on. And guess what? Today, I think it was today, the Lebanese and Israel actually met, or they're about to meet in Washington. I think it was yesterday, actually. They actually are continuing their normalization talks. So this is also unprecedented. Now, this is happening as this is all unfolding. I told you about the voices in Lebanon that are speaking out. Let's check out what some of them have to say. Let's go to Sami Gamayel, a member of the Christian Kataeb Party. So let's see what he has to say. Here's a video. Unfortunately, this is with Hebrew translation, so I will try to do my best to sum it up for you.
رح نعيش بسلام على أرضنا بأمان
We want to live in peace on our land with security, freedom, and honor.
حرية وكرامة ولن نعود إلى الوراء لن نعود إلى الوراء
backwards.
هيدا وعد عم نعقده معكم أنه هيدي رح تكون
we are like promising that there is going to be an end to this these sad
خاتمة الأحزان ومن بعدها بدنا نعيش بسلام.
And we from now want to live in peace and stability, and we want to build our country with for our children.
واستقرار وازدهار وبدنا نبني بلد لأولادنا ولأنفسنا. دايما بنقول نبني بلد لأولادنا مثل واحد إنه قضى على حاله. لا.
As if somebody could care more about our kids than we.
نحن ما بدنا نقضي على حياتنا إلنا. نحن كمان بحق لنا نعيش هيدي الحياة الحلوة مش بس أولادنا. وبالتالي بأكد لكم بعد هيدا المسار كله لن نقبل بالعودة إلى الوراء. وما تعتلوا هم وحدة السياديين الداخلية هذه وحدة متينة، التنسيق بين بعضنا دائم، التواصل.
All right. This is going too fast for me now. Hold on a second. Um, something about like the sovereignty of
وحدة متينة،
unity.
التنسيق بين بعضنا دائم، التواصل دائم، ولن نرضى
We're not going to
إلى العودة إلى الوراء.
we're not going to agree to go backwards after this. So people are pressing forward despite the fact that it's actually unprecedented that they would be speaking with Israel, that they would have these negotiations with Israel. People are really starting to speak out and say, no, this is the path that we are pursuing. So I'm going to find you another I think I have another video here. Oh, yes. Okay. So another Lebanese activist. I think the subtitles here are in English. So let's check out this one.
بيقولوا الإيرانيين سنقاتل حتى آخر شيعي. يعني الشيعة وقود لمن اليوم؟
للإيراني وللنظام الإيراني بكل بساطة يعني. وحتى هيدي وحده كمان من الصدمه اللي هلا البيئه الشيعيه اذا بدك عم تفتح عينيها انه يا عم الايراني ما بعلمي هذا نحن وياه وحده حال ونحن وياه مساحات ووحده ساحات بلحظه تركن وفل واكثر من هيك. يعني صار يحس المواطن الشيعي انه هذا الايراني اللي مش فرقاني معه. يعني مش بس انه يا اخي مش قادر، مره بنقول انه مش بس لا مش فرقاني معه. واكثر من هيك انا بقول لك يعني صار في نظره
This is interesting. What he's saying right now is that that the Shiites, which is the religion of Iran as well, but the Shiites in Lebanon had felt up until now abandoned by Iran, and so they were starting to move away from Iran. Now, this was recorded in May. Now this could be why Iran is going all in on putting Lebanon front and center of the MOU.
طبيعية لهذا النظام انه نظام غير وفي وغير يعني ما عنده اخلاق اذا بدك. يعني احنا مثلا بجنوب وعينا ونحن بفهمونا او بيقولوا او كانت السرديه الاساسيه تعي انه اسرائيل عندها اطماع بنهر الليطاني وانه هي عندهاش ماي وبدها هذه الماي. طب ما الامور بتتغير. يعني صار موضوع انك انت اي دوله، ومعروف انه اسرائيل الاولى بالعالم بموضوع تحليه مي البحر، وبالتالي طب انتهت هذه المشكله. يعني بس نحن بدنا نضل مصر انه هي بدها الليطاني اللي هو يعني نحن اسم الله علينا حولناه الى يعني بلا مؤاخذه مجرور كبير. يعني
امبارح دمر بيتك
ما تبكيني
يعني بس الواحد.
So apparently his home was also destroyed like in an Israeli attack. So I mean, I think an Israeli attack is presumably, but let's see what he has to say.
يحس انه يعني عن جد جنى عمره. ما هي البيت مش بس حجار، البيت هو زوايا، هو مقتنيات، شغله، هو ذكريات. طب هذا الجنوبي يلي عم بيخسر بيته، عم بيخسر ذكرياته، حياته، تربة اهله يمكن ما في زورة، تدمير القرى بهالطريقة، التغبير يلي عم بصير، مين سببه؟
سببه فتح الجبهة. يعني بدش كتير. هلا طبعا هذا العدو، ما هي هون شو مشكلتنا نحن؟ انه بعد لنا 70 سنه بنكتشف كل مره انه وحشيه العدو، انه والله كشف العدو عن انيابه. ما بنعرفه. ما انت بتعرف انه هذا عدو متوحش، لا ما بيوقف لا عند قوانين ولا عند شو اسمه، عنده مصلحته فوق كل اعتبار. طب وانت بتيجي بتحركش فيه. عالم موجوعه، العالم فقعانه، العالم عم تكفر. انا والله العظيم امبارح شاب من عندنا من الضيعه صار ترمي الصلاه، عمل له ما نروح نصلي، قال لي بطلت صلي. قال لي انا بطلت صلي. اذا الله هيك والاسلام تعولن هيك بده يجي ياخذنا على الشوارع، كنا قاعدين بساحه على الاوتوستراد، اذا هذا الدين انا ما حش بدي صلي. هالقد العالم موجوعه وهالقد العالم متضايقه. هلا بصيروا بدهم تحت اعتبار انه والله نحن ما نصرخ ووجعنا قدام العدو ولحتى ما نبين انه ضعاف، ويصير بده يعلمونا على النفاق. للأسف صار المجتمع الشيعي مجتمع منافق. حتى بي الشهيد وأم الشهيد اللي بيكون هو مش عم بينام الليل، شو يعني واحد فقد ابنه أو فقد عائلته؟ هلا ما حش نحكي بولد، بنحكي بولدين وثلاثة وعم نحكي بعيال. قال إنه بده يطلع على الكاميرا ويقول أنا فدا فلان وفدا ما بعرف شو وأنا حاضر. شو هالحكي اللي إلوش قصة لا بالمنطق ولا بالطبيعة ولا بالعقل ولا بالشعور.
All right, what'd you guys think of that? It's really interesting to hear the different voices now coming out from Lebanon. I'm going to show you one more, and then I think we'll probably switch over to Syria. But let's check this video.
قواعد الاشتباك منا ثابته بالمنطقه، مش بس بلبنان. مشان هيك نحن بنشوف الامور عم تفلت كل مره وما عم تستقر بالمنطقه. عم بحكي يعني كان بالمضيق هرمز وصولا للعراق لليمن للبنان لاسرائيل. القواعد الاشتباك منا ثابته ومتفلته وخطيره.
من ناحيه مفهوم فصل المسارين التفاوضيين، هل اوقع الامريكي بالدوله اللبنانيه؟
الامريكي ما بهمه يوقع بالدوله اللبنانيه او ما يوقع بالدوله اللبنانيه. الامريكي بهمه انه ما تبقى ايران مسيطره على لبنان، كما تم اذا بدنا نقول انهاء النفوذ الايراني بسوريا. نفس الموضوع، يعني كما انه النفوذ الايراني داخل سوريا، الولايات المتحده تسعى الى انهاء النفوذ الايراني داخل لبنان. وهذه هي الحرب، يعني هذا لب الحرب بلبنان.
نشرت السفارة الإيرانية في لبنان العلم، أكيد شفتوا علم إيران وإلى جانبه علم لبنان مع عبارة نحن دائما إلى جانبكم. شو تعليقك؟
يعني من لديه، نحن العرب يعني من لديه صديق مثل الإيراني ما بيعوز قعدة أشداء. يعني بيقولوا نحن أصدقاء مع الخليج وبيقصفوا الخليج، بيقولوا نحن بنحب لبنان وبيفخخوا لبنان. يعني كلام يدعو إلى الدهشة، يعني قد منه صادم.
I mean, this is very strong talk against Iran, which is essentially also against Hezbollah, which has been the power broker in Lebanon up until this point. So the fact that these people are coming out and speaking so directly and strongly is it really speaks volumes. Now, you still have Iran insisting on a cessation of fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. And also not just that the fighting stops, but that Israel withdraws. And Israel has said no, and there's still fighting going on. Again, I've talked about like the ceasefire war, which is just like fighting with different rules. It's called a ceasefire, and there's slightly different rules, like don't hit the big cities, and Hezbollah missiles shouldn't cross into Israeli territory. So far, they are abiding by the new rules, the rules of the ceasefire, but there is fighting, and this is one of Iran's sticking points for the MOU to go forward. At the same time, Washington is hosting Lebanese officials and Israeli officials for normalization talks. I think this is the fourth meeting that they've had. I saw a photo of the Lebanese ambassador and the Israeli ambassador to the US yesterday. So that is going forward. It's on its own track, and that is happening separate to the war, the ceasefire war, and also the MOU. So it's extremely interesting to watch this unfold. Also in Lebanon, Sami Gamayel, member of a different Christian party in Lebanon, said that the land will not be liberated. The displaced will not return. You know what? I'm going to put this in the chat so you guys can so you can read it on the screen. Let me show you. Okay. It's easier to follow along. The land will not be liberated. The displaced will not return to their homes, and we will not live in peace as long as the militia's weapons remain on our land. We will not live in coexistence with Hezbollah, whatever the outcome of the talks. Look, it got cut off, guys. This is so funny. Whatever the outcome of the talks. Where is this? Oh, taking place outside Lebanon may be. He's referring to Iran. We will not accept the existence of these weapons or the existence of this militia. That is extremely strong. The fact that they are speaking out like this is really goes to show that there's like Lebanon has moved on. Like they're saying like, okay, like we're talking to Israel in public and we're criticizing Iran and Hezbollah in public. So that is a big deal. Okay. Let's see. Now but the Iranians have decided like this, the Lebanon clause, they are going all the way with that one. They're taking that one off the cliff with them. Like this is their sticking point. It's actually, of the 14 points, it's number 1. I mean, nothing to do with the war that actually, like, what was it about? The Army, the Navy, the missiles, the nuclear weapons. How did those not make 1, 2, 3, and 4? Like Lebanon made number 1. And not even a mention of Hezbollah and Israel, just like Lebanon. No fighting in Lebanon, guys. Like crazy. Okay, let me see what else I've got here. Because there's still a little bit. We're gonna move on though. Let's see. No negotiation. Okay, I don't know about that. That's old news. Somebody, another Lebanese politician, Nadim Gamayel. There's a Sami Vadim. Okay, interesting. He said that Ghalibaf, who's the speaker of the Iranian parliament, has equated the U.S. and Iran will guarantee Lebanon's unity and its territorial integrity. And he's like, who is giving Iran the right to speak on our behalf? Lebanon's unity is not guaranteed by Tehran. Its territorial integrity is not determined in Switzerland, and its sovereignty is not a subject for negotiation between two foreign countries. If the Lebanese state respects itself, it must make it unequivocally clear that Lebanon is not an Iranian dossier and is not a bargaining arena for anyone. So this is unbelievable. This is all going on as Lebanon's fate is being discussed between Beirut and Jerusalem in Washington right now. So what this guy is saying is if we're discussing our own fate, with Israel right now in Washington, then why is Washington also talking to Tehran about what's happening here? Like, we're the ones negotiating, not you guys. So very interesting. Okay, so also one more note on that. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the issue of Lebanon is separate from the issue of Iran because Lebanon is a sovereign state with its own government. We will conduct negotiations and address the matter with the government of Lebanon. The future of Lebanon belongs to the Lebanese people through their sovereign and elected governments. All right, so going to show you on that note, I am going to show you a video. Hold on, I see there's a question in the chat. I will get to that in a second. But in the meantime, let's go to the videotape right here. Let's see the message. And remember, guys, I mentioned this in the beginning, and you've heard this before. What does Lindsey Graham have to say? And what words is he using here? Let's listen.
If we get a deal, Iran will be in a box. If we don't get a deal, Iran will be in a box. To Lebanon, to the people in Lebanon, help is on the way. Hezbollah has been terrorizing your country for a long time. That's about to end.
You hear that, guys? Help is on the way. Do you remember? I mean, just minutes ago, we watched the video of President Trump saying to the great people of Iran, help is on the way. And now Lindsey Graham is saying to Lebanon, to the people of Lebanon, don't worry, we got you. Help is on the way. Guys, we're not, nobody's going to believe you anymore. After promising back then, while tens of thousands of Iranians were being killed and or arrested and then killed and executed on the streets for protesting, help was on the way for them. And there is a severe loss of trust right now in these words, help is on the way. So, all right, Joel here has a question that I cannot answer. Where does, I'm sorry, Lebanon's future fit with Israel in Bible prophecy? I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dodge the question. I really don't know. So I'm trying to think of who I could refer you to that would know. Maybe you could go watch John Holler. John Holler has Bible prophecy. I don't remember the name of his channel, but if you go onto YouTube, he has a really big channel where he talks about Bible prophecy. He does like a weekly show. Anyway, he probably has a better answer than I do. I don't know. But okay, so now I'm just going to switch very briefly over to another country here close by. We're going to talk about Syria. Now, during all of this that was unfolding with the MOU, I don't know if you guys heard that at some point President Trump suggested that Israel doesn't need to go and disarm Hezbollah because we're going to let the new leader of Syria, Mohammed al-Jolani, go do that. And he could do it better, actually. Now, Jolani, who is now known as Ahmed al-Shara, is he formerly this I think Nusra, which was like an Al-Qaeda ISIS group that became like the Syrian rebels. Like, remember when the Syrian civil war erupted and the rebels went in? Well, his group is now he's now the leader. The rebels swept into Syria somewhere like after October 7th it started, and the whole region was in turmoil. 2024, they just swept into Damascus. They took over the government. Bashar al-Assad fled, and now they run the show. So Jolani runs the show, and his rebels are the army. Now, these guys have gone through and targeted specific groups in Syria. The Alawites, which was it's the religion of Assad, and they were anti-Assad. They're also anti-Hezbollah. They also went after, during this time, the Druze, Christians, other groups. There have been stories, I've written about this, like many abductions that have gone on in Syria. People, women especially, are just disappearing. And so it's a real problem. But anyway, he's running the show there now, and President Trump likes him. He's called him a great guy, nice guy, good-looking guy, etc. And now he's saying that he should be the one. We don't need Israel to do it. Israel, get out of Lebanon. We're going to let Jolani do it. So Jolani clarifies the words on clarifies Trump's words here, and I'm going to show you a video of his after what President Trump said. Let's see what he has to say. Let's go back to the beginning.
لكن دعني أنتهي من هذه النقطة تحديدا. ما قاله الرئيس ترامب لا صحة له. يعني لن نرى سوريا ولا لن نرى الرئيس الشرع داخل إلى لبنان لينزع سلاح حزب الله.
معلش خلينا أنا.
All right. So they asked the question, what Trump said, and he's like, all right, wait. Okay, let's explain this.
شوي نشرح شو اللي قاله رئيس ترامب.
What Trump said.
لأنه رئيس ترامب هو أبدى انزعاجه مما يجري حاليا في.
He was talking about what's happening in Lebanon right now.
وكان يبحث في مضمون حديث
And in his words, he was looking for a way.
عن إيقاف الحرب في لبنان.
In his words, he's looking for a way to stop the war.
ثم قال يكون هناك دور لسوريا.
And he said, you know, maybe there can be a role for Syria in Lebanon.
في لبنان للبحث عن حل آمن وهادئ.
Like a secure and a good solution.
فالتصريح أخذ على محمل على أنه وكأنه غدا صباحا ستدخل قوات سوريا إلى لبنان وهذا خطأ.
Wait, go back a few seconds here. Oh my gosh, I hate translating from one language to another to English. Hold on, let's go. And so it came out and it was understood that tomorrow morning
صباحا ستدخل قوات سوريا إلى
to enter Lebanon, and that's how it was analyzed.
لبنان وهذا خطأ.
هذا مفسر وهذا
فمن تصريح الرئيس.
But actually, the suggestion of President Trump, you can understand the answer.
ترامب تستطيع أن تأخذ الإجابة على أنه ذكر امتعاضه مما يجري.
Oh, come on. Who is
مما يجري حاليا في لبنان.
He said that Lebanon is looking
ويبحث عن
other solutions, and it is possible that Syria can have a possible
حلول أخرى وقد يكون هناك دور لسوريا إيجابي من خلال المؤسسات اللبنانية.
like maybe with Lebanese institutions and the country itself.
والدولة اللبنانية.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. We're not going in tomorrow. Don't worry. Now that is Hezbollah's. That would be an interesting. I don't want to say it's Hezbollah's biggest fear, but that would be extremely interesting face-off, because Hezbollah in what do you call it in when they were in Syria, when the rebels took over, they fled. They all went running to the border of Lebanon to get over there. But now what the rise of the Julani government did is they essentially, because they are against Hezbollah and probably Iran, but they basically cut off that pipeline between Iran and Hezbollah that was going through Syria, in terms of weapons and funds and fighters. There were a lot of Iranian militias that launched attacks from Syria itself. So, as with all things in politics and geopolitics, it makes for strange bedfellows. Thank you, Bea, for this. I can't say I'm a pro. That was really tough, I have to say. And it was probably rough for you guys watching, but thank you for bearing with me. Thank you. Okay. I think I am wrapping it up. Is there anything I missed, Tony? No. Are you sure? I know there's a couple of videos right here that I didn't show. Oh, I'll leave you with one more thing. There is an intelligence document out there. I have not reviewed it yet. And this is reported by Israeli news that alleges that Qatar helped Iran circumvent international sanctions, providing economic and logistical support, and strengthened both its economy and military capabilities. So Qatar was helping Iran even as they were being bombed by Iran. So Qatar was always involved. Qatar is never not involved and is never really the victim. So interesting. Anyway, enough geopolitics for tonight. Let's just go to bed. All right, guys, great. Thank you for joining. And I'll be in touch. We'll do some more of this as well as things develop. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. Have a good day or good night wherever you are.